Hey everybody, it's Free to Play Bust, kicking off expedition number 164. Let's see if we get something cool here. Let's see. it's all the things we've been running here recently in Thresh. We've got I think the previous run wasn't Moonlit Heist. The previous run was uh whatever Luminous Dusk Diana, not Heist. And again, I don't really like starting out with Thresh. He's a fun support pool. Like this Death's Door is basically just a big pile of removal spells in both of the Thresh and the Ezreal side. It's just like you know what we talk about at a lot of these runs is we're trying to find a champion to build around, and then we'll just have a support champion because you know, these champion flip cards really help us fix a lot of our deck composition problems, to where if we draw all spells, we're probably going to lose the game, but if we draw all units, we can still win. And since, you know, if we get multiple copies of Thresh, then he helps us with that unit to spell ratio, to where we aren't as frequently just having games that are all spells. And so, you know, back to the points where it's, you know, we really like to stack up 3 copies of one champion and then just have 1 copy of the second. And I don't really like starting out with a champion that we can't build around. Like, we can build around this Fizz, we can build around this Diana. Thresh in itself just isn't good enough to build around, and so I don't like to start with these Death Door pools, but this is a great pool to be taking second. There's just any deck that wants to be kind of slow, so we pick up an Aurelian Soul or something. They love having a Thresh to go along with it. Aurelian Soul is an awkward example since he's so expensive, but the rule still applies. You know, if you're trying to get into a slow, grindy control kind of deck, this Thresh is great. But if it's not paired with something else that can do that, it falls off in power level pretty quickly. And so, you know, our choices are going to come down to this Diana or this Fishbones Fizz, and I really want to give Fishbones another go. I feel like our previous run was pretty good, but it kind of got cut short. And we kind of, you know, have a better idea of how we can draft these. The Moonlit Heist and the just actual previous run, it could have been okay. I think the Shadestalker was something that we were solely missing in the previous run. If you're not familiar with my thoughts on Diana, it's she has like some of the best, if not the best, 1, 2, and 3 drops in the game, but the pool doesn't have anything beyond that. And so it really needs to be finding removal spells, really needs to be finding a little bit of top end. And that was how we kind of fell short in run 163. I'm not, you know, thinking back to that run, I'm not quite sure how Miss Fortune really helps with that. I would prefer to be drafting 3 Miss Fortunes if we're going to be doing this, and so it's kind of awkward starting out with the Diana here. She's kind of the support in the same way the Thresh was the support. And so we're going to jump in on this Fizz. He is starting out with both the Taskmaster and the Von Yips, and what I'm kind of thinking is, you know, we're really just looking. Like I said in the comments in the previous one, if I could get like 4 or 5 Jagged Taskmasters, I would be like super stoked with the outcome. Because you know, kind of one of the things that you run into with this deck is you want to be playing everything super early, because you're playing a deck stacked full of like 10 or 11 1-drops in it. But you know, you want these 1-drops to be coming down after you've played Von Yip, who doesn't come down until turn 4. So there's some kind of like awkward tension between the ones and the Von Yip, but there's not a whole lot of tension with the Taskmasters, since you just play whoever on turn 1, hopefully get in for your plunder on turn 2, and then just have your Taskmaster that's popped off. And, you know, thing number 2 with Taskmaster is he just hits everything, even your units in play. And so if we play a 1-drop on 1 and 2 1s on 2, and then open attack on 3, then we can still just give all of our in-play units a bonus with the Taskmaster, where Von Yip doesn't do that. But this is what we're going to take. Ooh, I got to get it pulled up on the site real quick. There are some differences between the 2 pools. Between the Fizz and the Jinx, where we had Fizz and the Fishbones. The thing with on the Fishbone side is this is where all of the good 1-drop units live. I think the most important one being Pool Shark, and then if we're going to like continue to rank them from that, I think that Prowling Cutthroat is the second most important, and then everything else is pretty similar from that point forward between the Butcher and the Jailbreak and the Shell Shocker. And so, kind of the way that I look at these Fishbones decks, if this is what we're going to end up building around, is that the Taskmaster and the Von Yip are must picks until we have at least four of them. I think I would be okay with having four Taskmasters and like one Von Yip, or even five or six Taskmasters if that's the way things are going. But I really only want like two Von Yips, I think. But if it comes down to having like three Von Yips and one Taskmaster, or two Von Yips and one Taskmaster, I think we'll take the three. Um, but yeah, kind of like much like how I was talking about that Diana pool that just has a really good early game and then not much in the way of removal or top end. That's how this pool is as well. It's got all of these one drops in it, has absolutely no removal unless you want to consider Chum the Waters to be removal, and then it doesn't have any top end either unless you want to just consider the Sheriff. And so, if we are going to actually build around Fishbones, then I do recommend just looking to pick up like the 10 one drops. You have to get the 10, and then you have to place a high value on finding some removal spells in the top end. The way I typically go about top end in this deck is we just get it out of Black Market Merchant and we get it out of Pilfered Goods. Pilfered Goods doesn't live in this pool, but you can typically find one or two in any of your Bilgewater drafts. And so we just assume that we'll find expensive cards from our opponent's deck by drawing them with the Merchant and the Pilfered Goods, but then that does leave us with the removal spell thing to where there's just absolutely none here. Bilgewater also not very good at having removal spells. And so we jumped ahead a little too quick here, but I think this will be okay in the end. And so let's see what we get. Why does Lure of the Depth and Smash and Grab Vi? Why would this be here? Huh. Interesting. That's weird. But nonetheless, we're not taking this. Like the Vi can be okay here, but I would rather have Miss Fortune. It's just this blows my mind. Like I'm trying to figure out why Lure of the Depths is in Vi. It's a Bilgewater card in the Piltover half. Maybe. Oh, I don't know. Maybe they've updated the pool to be like that, or maybe it's doing weird stuff because we've already taken Fishbones and Fishbones makes the pools interact strangely. I don't know. That's strange. And so, nonetheless, this is kind of interesting. Like, I will want, if we're going to continue on with Fishbones, I should say, we can't pivot. We don't have to pigeonhole ourselves into this deck. But if we are going to continue on with it, I do want to pick up a third faction. I would like that third faction to be Targon, since the one drops in Targon are just supremely good. Between the guy that makes gems and the guy that discards cards to make a celestial card, just some top tier one drops coming out of Targon. But I hope to find it outside of a champion pick, because here I'm going to take this Miss Fortune. We just need some kind of way to kind of punch through with our units. We typically want to be doing that with Taskmaster and Von Yip, but in the event that we don't find any more of these, Miss Fortune will be what helps us get some positive tax out of the board that we're flooding down. And so this can be a reasonable set. Warding Shot, it does kind of suck to pop off a warning shot for just the point of damage, but if that's what it takes to, say, activate Taskmaster when we're on the odd attacks, then fine. Or if that's what we have to do to activate a Pilfered Goods, fine. It's not spectacular, but fine is typically a good description of warning shot. And we're not jazzed about Chum the Waters, but whatever. So let me also pull up Moonlit Heist. It doesn't synergize like super good, but Miss Fortune is, in my opinion, one of the better champions in the game, and so she can kind of help pick up for that. And so, as we kind of mentioned with the previous set, we can be looking for Pilfered Goods and Black Market Merchant for our top end. This does have a handful of one drops in it in the Corsair and the Butcher. Not amazing ones, but not spectacular. The Prowling Cutthroat lives here as well, which is amazing and spectacular. And so it does have a lot of the cards that we're looking to synergize with our one-drop theme. And then kind of the big deal up here, Jagged Taskmaster does live in this pool. Riptide Rex is just an absolute monster. And so these do actually pair up pretty well, better than I thought it would. I think this other Miss Fortune might be just kind of awkward in what I'm used to having. What is here? Corsair and then no other ones? Yeah, this is the one I'm used to being weird. So yeah, this Moonlit Heist should turn out pretty well here. A lot of the cards we're looking for exist. But, you know, as we said before, the one drops are pretty easy to come across. We're going to be taking these Taskmasters and Von Yips. We're going to try to cover off our top end with Pilfered Goods and Black Market Merchant. So what does that leave us missing? That leaves us missing with the removal spells. We're going to probably have to kind of go out of our way to find whatever removal that we can, be it that, you know, our Mystic Shots and Gotchas, and or if we end up in something like Shadow Isles, whatever. Just some way to interact with our opponent's boards besides just attacking with these units. Okay. Interesting set. Let me double check on Poro Cannon. That's what makes the elusives. I'm kind of interested in Poro Cannon. You know, I think Pool Shark is the actual just top tier one drop. It's kind of unfortunate with Poro Cannon in that we don't have any jinxes. May or may not try to pick up jinx in the future champion packs, but this can certainly help you. Say, like, you know, you're trying to pop off your jinx, but you drew a random 5-drop, or you have 2 Professor Von Yips in your hand or something, and you just need to cycle shit away so that you can get your hand emptied. Poro Cannon does at least help with that, even if it's just putting 2 cards in your hand. If those, you know, 2 mana of cards are cheaper than, you know, 4 mana, then that's 2 less that you have to pay. Or if it's the last card in your hand, then that counts for the flip. But the Pool Shark is what I'm kind of super interested in here. This is a pretty good set in Pilfered Goods Double Trouble, but I think I'm going to just stick to the 1-drops here while we can. Okay. Interesting. Not like a super amazing set of cards here. I think what we're going to have to do is just take this Targon set. If you're not familiar with how expeditions work, you can get up to 3 factions, but the factions, you have to have those factions by the 6th pick or on the 6th pick. And so if you roll into pick 7 with just 2 factions, you'll only see those 2 factions for the rest of the run. And so what's kind of awkward here is that, you know, we want these Targon cards to be showing up for the rest of the run. We'll only have 2 more shots at picking up another faction before we get to pick 7, and a very good chance next pick on the synergy pick will only be showing Bilgewater and Piltover cards. And so we'll probably just get 1 more shot to see Targon before it's gone. And these cards are good enough to make me kind of dive in. Picking up Jagged Butcher would be okay, but seeing him go isn't the end of the world. We're probably not going to have a lot of combos with the deckhand, although it does play pretty well with Miss Fortune. And here I just do want these Targon cards, and this is a pretty good 3-drop and a kind of value-generating combat trick, and so it's a pretty decent set of cards nonetheless. Okay. Interesting. Well, here I think this is a pretty easy jailbreak petty officer. It sucks to be passing up on all of these pilfered goods, but I think at this stage of the run it's most important to be adding these 1-cost cards to our deck. Petty officer also makes a 1-cost card, and then he does kind of have that extra value to where if we need to powder keg before Miss Fortune attack, then, you know, he has something else that he can do besides just make a 1-drop. Okay. Interesting. Here, I think I'm going to take the Mystic Shot. It's really tough on me to be passing these Pool Sharks, but I think, you know, kind of our issue with the previous run was our lack of Mystic Shots and removal spells, and, you know, the assembly does make 1-cost units, and so it's not my preferred way to do it, but it is another way to get 1-drops. Okay. Interesting set. I think we want the Cutthroat here. The Solari Soldier is an excellent 1-drop unit, but having the Fearsome can be a pretty huge deal. Or the Fearsome and the Elusive is a pretty huge deal when we're trying to activate a Jagged Taskmaster on the 2nd turn. And so it sucks to be passing up the stats here, but I think we'll be pretty happy with this Cutthroat. Okay. All right, well, so here's kind of the way I have to evaluate these is, you know, we immediately look and there's a 1-drop in all of the packs, which is fantastic. Then from that point forward, it's like the Pool Shark is better than all of these, but I think, you know, this stage of the run, we're okay to pick up all of these. Like, it's not a 1-drop that's going to, like, push us away or push us towards, although we would be preferring these Pool Sharks. Yeah, and so beyond that, I think out of like these bottom cards, we can kind of just immediately push away from Chum the Waters. We don't really want any of these, and we already have one. So I don't want to be picking up any more of these. And then between the Apprentice and the Shadestalker, I think the Apprentice is what we're actually looking for here with how our deck is panned out. Having the Eager Apprentice to pair off with 2 Pale Cascades or the Mystic Shot is pretty good. It helps set up these draws to where we play Professor Von Yip on turn 4 and then have some spell mana to play these cards like Jailbreak and Double Trouble and Scrapdash Assembly. I think this is just going to synergize a little bit better with our deck than the Shadestalker, even though I think the Shadestalker is objectively the stronger card. Okay. Well, this is a big old dude. I do love me a Mentor of the Stones. I think we have to kind of be okay with passing up on the 1-drop. Not real happy with where our 1-drop count is. But we also haven't seen any more Taskmasters or Von Yips, and so it's kind of okay if we don't like fully go into the 1-drop theme. And I think the Mentor is just powerful enough to skip over the Soldier. But would like to continue to pick up some 1-drops, and here's a couple of them. I think we can still get some value out of this Duskbringer. Excuse me, we don't have a lot of Nightfall units, we just have the 2 Crescent Guardians, but I think we need to be taking the double 1-drops here, and this can be used to just activate a Nightfall for like if we just want to make an expensive, I can never remember the name of it, Pale Cascade, or if we want something to discard to Poro Cannon, like these cards just work out fantastically there, so pretty happy to pick these up. Even though the Pool Shark is arguably better, I do definitely want the 2 1-drops here. These things will just really pop off if we find some additional enablers. And here, this is a super easy Mystic Shot. Get excited. There is a 1-drop in both spots, but they're paired up with expensive cards we don't want. We're really looking for these removal spells. Just a super easy pick. Okay, and they continue on. We got another a 1-drop with a Mystic Shot. That's a pretty easy pickup amongst some real stinkers. Okay, here, good. It's like these 1-drops. They all decided to show up here at the end. I'm pretty happy with how this has panned out. The Petty Officer generating them and the actual 1-drop itself. Don't really want any of these other cards. The Mountain Goat's fine, but we aren't in the 2-drop theme to make the trail any good. Okay. So here, I think we'll just take the Butcher and the Magician. I don't really like Plaza Guardian outside of, well, I don't really like it, but I don't really want to be playing it outside of decks that can generate Puff Caps. I do like having Back Alley Barkeeps in this kind of deck. This is, we haven't picked up any of the card draw cards, and so having the Barkeeps, if we have like 2 or 3 of them, just generating these random spells can be pretty good. I'm tempted to actually pick up this Chempunk Shredder, as it's just a great way to, once our opponent starts playing better units than ours, then to just kind of clear up the board to get some final attacks in. But I think I'm going to go with the 1-drop and the Magician. He gives us a kind of, random way to make some bigger units, and he also plays out pretty well with oh, we passed on the 2-drop, but like the guys that make powder kegs, you can always switch powder kegs into units if you need to. Okay, let's see here. Never trading out Von Yip, we can just skip that one. Would love to pick up this Mystic Shot. I think it's fine to trade away the Warning Shot. We didn't pick up any blunders beyond this 1 Butcher and then the 1 Taskmaster, and so we can't really take advantage of these. So we'll pick up Mystic Shot number 4. Let's get to it. So yeah, we'll probably need to, we would love to find some additional Taskmasters. I'm pretty confident. Oh god damn it, it's playing ads again. I'll reload it and see if these will go away. If these ads keep showing up, I can't keep this running. But here, hang on. Okay, restarted. Okay, that seems to have fixed it. It's like they heard my rants about gambling and just canceled my account. my, my, my best intentions are at heart when I call out Illawarra Guardian for that stuff. You can't be putting gambling into these apps and expecting Riot to let it just stick around. So I've reached out to them and hopefully they take heed of my warnings. But no, like with this, our top end was kind of turdy. And so we would either need to find a little bit more top end or some black market merchants or something. But with this set, I think like we want to do this. Like I want to dig for some like higher powered cards. So if we're gonna do that, then I think we probably just want to keep the soldier. He's probably our best one drop here. Okay, we get Miss Fortune's reasonable.
Ours is the one true light.
Get him in there.
Devotion to battle.
Okay,
This land is ours.
I'm pretty sure we're happy to just like run out dudes here. We're gonna just play Miss Fortune next turn and hit. She's gonna deal with all the combats. Then we're fine to just trade with
Nothing like the stink
whatever
of
he's
blood
doing.
and sweat.
Doesn't want to get in with our guys. It's fine. These toughs interact pretty favorably with our
I'm
units,
one of the good guys.
or at least with our misfortune. But this is an unfortunate yearling
Follow
that
the
can't attack.
horizon.
But our other attacks here are still good.
A fight.
Sure.
Love ya.
Sunward.
Okay. Well, if the extent of his turn is protecting this thing, we're pretty okay with that. If it comes down to it, we can pop it with a powder keg plus mystic shot, but I don't think we're going to need to be doing that. It starts to come down to like, do we ever want to just like mystic shot face? I don't think we do. I'm kind of tempted to just play petty officer plus powder keg and then mystic shot the raider next turn. These are all pretty awkward. We can also just mystic shot his face and play a taskmaster to boost up our ones. Let's just see what he does. I have to assume he's going to play some kind of card here.
Tonight, Varg.
I think we want to go with this face plan. Like if we go with like a petty officer to powder keg play, and then he just has any like combat trick to protect this raider, then we're just so hosed. We just want to go face, boost up our smaller boys here.
Seas are fair and the wind's pulling. We sail!
Aye, boss.
Hey, it's a mystic shot anyways. It's like this replay to could we ever just go face with the mystic shot and play a crescent guardian? I don't think so. Let's make these ones. All right. Well, we're about to get some Yeti yearlings into our deck.
Let's get to it.
Should perhaps just attack with misfortune, but when he has 6 mana and doesn't play into our opens, I have to figure, or like we don't open and he has 6 mana. I have to assume there's a harsh winds coming down here. But this is a pretty good one for us if he's either going to protect his unit. Oh shit, a judgment. That's a problem. Can't honestly say I expected to see a judgment come down here. That's probably going to win the game for it. I don't think you can ever suspect that that's a thing when out of the Sejuani Aurelian Soul deck. But I mean, we can still come out of this. If we pick up one of these Yetis immediately and drop a Crescent Guardian, we can still
Leave nothing standing.
hit his face placed pretty strongly. Get these Nightfalls in here.
Quickly, Ursine. Battle approaches. The storm is close. Soon. All
all unbelievers will see the light.
Okay, so we'll chunk through for a bit of damage here. Oh god, can we ever just kill him? It's been so many mystic shots. He can't attack with Miss Fortune, he still just blocks him.
Praise your gods!
Okay.
Love ya.
And our misfortune will be flipped on the next attack. And these big chunks in. Sucks that we lost our overwhelms, but let's see if we can hit some top decks and pull this one off.
Calm mind and open heart greet the night. I am more myself than ever.
Not ideal. We'll probably have to Mystic Shot this Wolf Rider to avoid dying. Assume that he's gonna open into us. Guess we can block here with Misfortune.
Pain is nothing.
That's gonna do it.
Don't worry.
We're just
I
gonna
read
give this
all
one up.
about this.
You can't win this without Misfortune. Fucking Judgment. What a weird ass set of cards to see. Like,
We plan
how does
on
that even happen?
revenge.
He's in that had to have been like a suit up Sejuani, and then he saw a, I guess he just had it was either in like the first 6 picks or something. I don't know. That's pretty incredible though. Nonetheless, moving on. Here, I think I want to hang on to the Poro Cannon. I don't really want to get rid of this Mystifying Magician, right? We've been bitching about how little top end we have here. We need to pick up some top end. And so I think I want to hang on to the Magician. I think kind of the same thing applies with these Chum the Waters. I don't think I actually want to make any of these trades. Well, I am okay with trading out Poro Cannon, I think, for another Pale Cascade. This is at least a way for us to continue to get card advantage. Okay, I've convinced myself. Judgment, what a bonkers go. Can't like that lineup. It looks like, you know. Oh my god, the ads are coming back. I'm gonna have to turn off LOR Guardian after this run. I'm sorry. Maybe we can get it back up before the very end. I can't have these ads up. I don't want to go back to using Blitz. Just don't want to see that. Okay, but here's with like the same as the previous game. I think we're cool to keep like just one of the ones. Maybe we keep 2. I think we can do this, but then if we're gonna do it like this, Bull Shark's pretty reasonable on the second turn.
I've brought my books. Hope that's all right.
And then we probably just have to open here.
Putting study into practice.
It's too easy for him to have a unit that like favorably interacts with Bull Shark Jailbreak. Okay. Interesting deck to see Double Trouble coming out of.
A game. Go on then.
Okay. Everybody got the nimble Poros. Turn short.
It's playtime.
Not super worried about this. It's kind of an awkward fizz. I don't think we'll be able to pull anything off with him. We can't powder keg until after combat. I'm just gonna pass here and see what he does. If we just get fully banked on mana, it's okay. It's our boy. Need to make some action happen with this. I think the way we want to go about it is we'll play Fizz, then we'll play Scrap Dash Assembly to give Fizz elusive. That should guarantee that we get in. and then we have pretty favorable attacks into everything, and so it's unfortunate, you know, these units won't be fully locked on until without the Taskmaster. I think it'll be okay. We do just need to do it now that he's played better units. Yeah, seems reasonable.
The weak don't deserve mercy.
All right, well, get in there,
That's
team.
my theory.
You better- what else are you gonna do here? We just went for it. This is where we're dying for pilfered goods. Need it so hard in spots like these. Okay.
Scratched.
Get him! Get him! Curses!
And it says, you know, kind of mentioning in the run about things like Chempunk Shredder. This is the spots I'm talking about where, you know, we want to get our Chempunk Shredders to clean up. We get in a bunch of attacks with our bad units, and then our opponents play units that are better than ours. This is what I'm referring to. I think we're good to just pass here. I want to be playing I think I need to be like powder kegging a Mystic Shot that gets it's at 5 damage. Maybe that's too greedy.
All hands on deck!
Okay. So here, I think we do actually want to just hang on to Nimble Poro. Like I think we need to get rid of these. Then these have Fearsome and we can't block. We can technically lose our Academic.
Now I've lost my place.
This is okay. Then we still have good attacks on the way back next round. We can at least get either this important 2 damage or we can get a dead unit out of this Nimble Poro. And so I want to keep him around. He can block and trade off next turn.
We playing
See how this goes. We have to Mystic Shot his face. We have to get in with Fizz. You can see this is the importance of cards like Pool Shark. When I go on about wanting Pool Sharks and Pilfered Goods and those, it's like we're in spots like this. We don't care what we draw. Oh, God damn it. That's just the actual having cards to put on the board. We can't beat a collector. There's just no way. Unless he just messes this up horribly. We can still like draw a Mystic Shot and elusive kill him next turn or something, but this is a pretty challenging one to beat. That gets us a little bit closer. Sure. You dead to this? I'm down to 2. We have to just take it. Unless we have a block, we can block his Neverglade Collector. Well, we can actually block some of these, right? Well, the thing is we don't want him gaining health. Let's put you here.
Something the matter?
We'll fall to 4. How far are you to flipping? We can flip Fizz. Does this come up at the beginning of the turn? Oh, it's a Nexus Strike. God, you're the worst, Fizz. You are the worst. Okay, let's take the 4.
Only a fool would enter battle unprepared.
Are you such a bad champion? Oh, great. Okay. Well,
These
but
jewels
we can get out of this with a get excited. So we're not dead yet. I'm not 100% sure how this interaction works, but we're about to find out.
Sapphire, gem of our divine patron.
Like if he may play a unit that just doesn't matter, but as it stands, he only has all these 2 health units, and so if he only puts 2 health in front of this, I'm not sure in this game if he dies before the Prankster and the Neverglade Collector trigger. I think we've tried to run into this before, but don't quite remember. Yeah, that's going to drain him up 1.
Their scent
Oh,
travels
no,
on
that,
the night
that just
air.
counterspells it, right?
Woohoo!
And it flips our Fizz? Yeah, so much extra damage. I was just like so spaced out of this game because I assumed it was over. But
This is gonna be fun!
alright, let's see how this interaction works. Can't quite remember if this is a draw or if we win the game. Looks like he ends at negative more health than us, so I'm not sure how that pans out. Alright, let's see what happens. This will be the learning experience here. We just win. Because he dies and then those units do their thing, right? It says victory. Okay. That's how you learn them, boys. That's how you learn them. Okay, interesting set. Like the way I think these Fishbones packs are supposed to work, and why it's odd that like in those champion packs, while we see like both the Taskmaster and the Von Yip. So I thought that the Fishbones packs were supposed to have one of them guaranteed. So the Fizz pack would have Taskmaster, the Jinx pack would have Von Yip, and then you just kind of knew that you were going to find one. I can't tell or remember if they're operating now to where it's the way they're supposed to, or if they're still bugged. My understanding was they had issues with kind of how I know we saw at least one Fishbones pick in there earlier that physically had Targon cards in it. I think they might have ran into issues turning this pool into a third faction pool. Can't quite remember, but aside, these Jinx cards aren't good enough. If we're going to take a Fishbones pool, we would just snatch up this Mystic Shot, get excited, but I really want to have 3 Misfortunes in this run, and both of these cards help with that top end that we're searching for. If we look at that last game, how we're able to, get the victory by overwhelming this last few points of damage. I think these Crescent Guardians are gonna pan out excellently in that shape and fashion, and then double up functions pretty much as a decimate. Another great way to close out the games. So happy to pick up that stack. Oh, forgot about this. If an ad shows up, I'm turning it off. Yep. Oh, okay. Well, maybe we can just click the X on the minigame and it won't show up anymore. Can't have this. It's supposed to be a premium account thing without the ads. Okay, here I think this is a pretty easy set to just keep the academic, because we want to be guaranteed a 1-drop, and then the Mystic Shot. We can't really be hard mulliganing for like Von Yips and such. I mean, we can consider being a little more aggressive with these mulligans to also include Miss Fortune in that bunch. Come on, bud. Jump on up. There you go. But I don't think it's quite necessary. I do like this interaction of Eager Apprentice and Pale Cascade.
A foray into the field? How exciting!
We've always been doing this with Mystic Shot, but it's pretty cool to have a combat trick in the mix as well now.
Happy to do whatever's needed.
Okay.
Knocked and ready.
Sure. We'll still just offer up the trade with the
Putting
academic.
study into practice.
If it's a fight they want.
Yep, works for me. We've been doing a lot of mystic shotting just face to just to get these cards going. We might end up doing that again here. Feels a little greedy here. I'd rather just like mystic shot one of his units to get this down. But oh boy, are we gonna have to do it just to get this curve going? Because I'm pretty okay. I'm fine. I'm doing it. I'm pretty okay with just putting down a Taskmaster and then opening for this 5 because we're wanting to play Von Yip next turn.
The strong don't want mercy.
And then, but you know, we don't have any cards to add with this. Something else adding in Z. Sure.
In the darkness.
That was a greedy way to go about that.
Only the worthy survive.
Sure, we can take this 6 hit.
I am the shadow.
But
Embrace the shadow.
you're doing things, buddy. Okay, yeah, let's get him in. Awkward not picking up a 1-drop, but I have to say there's very few times he actually wants to get in here and block with the Z, or he's just going to have some kind of combat trick. How do we want to go about this one? Do we just want to just Pale Cascade into this? Then we'll still have get excited should we need to. That's about as unfortunate as that combat could go. Sure.
Winter take you.
Okay, we have to try to pop this off now. He has another combat trick. He has another combat trick. There's nothing we can do about that. He's already spent 2 troll chants. I have to imagine this is probably good most of the time. Apparently not. Apparently not. Okay. Sometimes you just have it all.
They won't suffer long.
Okay. Don't think we ever win this game by blocking here. We have to get just get ahead on board somehow, some way.
Perhaps we should pause for thought.
We should have just opened. Yeah, that's what's done. Just it is what it is sometimes. We should have. We did mess up that last turn. I just kind of I gave up on that game too soon. Let's see. Here, don't want to trade out Von Yip or the Mentor. Could arguably trade out the Scrap Dash Assembly. It does give us some interaction. Like, we aren't hurting for interaction, but we do have 2 petty officers to play with this Make It Rain, and the assembly is just kind of one of the weaker ways to go. If we'd had one of these decks to where we pulled off like multiple enablers and taskmasters, then I think we'd be happier with this. Let's just pick up the interaction here. Okay. Awkward. Let's go, game. Come on, do your thing. Do your thing. Connect. Connect. We want to play. There we go. Righty. Trundle. Interesting combo. Let's see here. None of these are one drops. I don't know if you if you did the math there, but none of those were ones. We can't keep hands like that. This is not ideal, but we can at least make something with this work better than in that previous hand. Okay.
We were peaceful once.
Let's see if I can mess up these petals at some point this run. I've gotten pretty good at messing up these dust petals. Here, I think we probably just have to open. I do really want to get this this 3/3 Duskbringer on the board. Or I'm sorry, this 3/3 Taskmaster. I believe we're also good to just... Oh, we don't really get any value out of jailbreaking here. So let's just bank up the mana and continue on.
If they're out there, I'll spot them.
What are we gonna do with our 3? If we play Mentor and it gets blocked by Sentry, pretty okay with it. Next turn, 100% want to play Mystifying Magician. So let's do this. Let's just go ahead and jailbreak. See if anything interesting happens here. Not particularly, and then I'm just planning on playing the Mentor.
Enter, traveler, and stop staring.
Now we'll play the Mystifying Magician on our 1/1. Oh, or we just pick up Miss Fortune. Wait, well.
No prey.
Safe to say things change sometimes.
Snow Sunder smash all the things!
How greedy do we want to get with this Miss Fortune? I'm pretty sure we can make her a 5/5 and just attack with it. But do we ever get anything like favorable out of that? He hit his Behold, so he's got some kind of expensive. I think we're pretty okay with just trading. Like this can block something but not kill it. I like this. I'm on board.
No.
Hope he snapped that off. Pocket aces, sure.
Ready the torches.
Okay.
Love ya.
Still leaves us in a pretty good spot. He just has no board against our 4 units. A little late to the party, Professor.
Make way for trolls! No, good sir. I pull them from my hat.
Interesting.
I'll shoot the wings off a bilge wasp.
Alright, let's get in there. Let's bring this thunder. It's gonna be pretty reasonable. We can just make a huge cutthroat. Which I think I'm okay with. I think we're going to be able to get him with a double up.
Out before they know they're bleeding.
See if he spends any more mana before we try to pop this off.
Die.
Seems like he's going to try to troll chant us. Let's at least wait until this in the middle of combat before we try to just win the game.
Meet Snow Sunder! A fight!
Yeah, okay.
Who dares swims?
Got a rock with your name on it.
Didn't play anything. Okay, well. Let's just go ahead and go for the win. Want to drop it here? Doesn't matter if he has a combat trick. I don't think. I guess he can troll chant to try to save this thing, but make him have it. Alright, cool.
Cracked! Missed.
Good deal. Exactly what we were looking to get out of that double up. I like how that top end kind of panned out there, having access to the overwhelm if we wanted, and having the double up in our hand as well. So cool, let's see. Not trading out Von Yip again. I think we're good to get rid of Chum the Waters here. I think removing the Chum the Waters and hanging on to the Mystifying Magician is pretty ideal. Although, I mean, I think Double Trouble... It's tough for me to say whether or not I think Double Trouble's better than Hired Gun here, since we've really missed out on the enablers. Like, if we had one more Taskmaster, I think it would be pretty easy to say that Double Trouble was better, but it's tough when we don't have those. My cord's doing. Can't. Does it send Razer an email and tell them I need a longer cord on my on my headset? It's tough. Life's hard. I can't use wireless headsets because I forget to charge them, and then it's kind of awkward if you're wanting to make movies and your headset and mic doesn't work. It's I always just stick to wired, but here we're certainly good to get rid of those. I think we can get rid of Aggro Apprentice as well. He's pretty mediocre here. Reasonable start.
Don't worry, I've read all about this. Just as I hypothesized.
But I forget who it was. I think I had a Corsair headset. I do this thing to where I just won't buy people's products anymore. Like if I think we just run this out and get the dudes going. Like that's the only way I know how to do it. Like I'm not the kind of person that's gonna go on Twitter and like bitch about how shitty your product is.
No prey, no pay.
Like the only way I feel like I can really like influence these things is just to quit giving your company money. It's an easy attack. And so, you know, I got I basically just played like Blizzard games for the first 20 years of my gaming life. And I finally got to the point to where it was like I can't support Blizzard anymore, and just you know, gave up on their products. I haven't gave them money in years, and that's how I had to be with Corsair. It was like I was willing to give them money for like a new piece that has like some kind of like dongle on the headset, and I was like, I will give you money for a new like dongle. And they're just like, yeah, we'd love to do that. Just go here and buy one. It'll be in stock in like 8 months. And I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm not dealing with this shit. Here, we can take this. We're certainly the aggro here. This guy's not going to be able to get enough damage down on us for these units to be relevant. And this puts us in kind of the similar spot as the previous game. Is do we want to get this big thing going to where we're going to mentor the Stones of Miss Fortune? I kind of like this. I think I'm on board with keeping this going because we can play mentor, we can gem. I think we probably actually just want to gem the mentor, right?
These gems grant a
And then if he wants to block this, we'll get the misfortune kill onto his unit.
Putting study into practice.
I mean, the other thing that may or may not be happening, we have a lot of spells here. We may just be trying to make it rain through this combat. If he tries to get a value block down here on Gift Giver. I think we're in a pretty good spot here. This means no blocks, right? Since he played Withering Well? Okay, let's spew out our hand.
make it interesting for me?
My pretties.
Which is lethal. It's pretty close. Not gonna lie, it's pretty close to lethal. Alright. You got 2 to go with this Mystic Shot.
For
Sure.
justice. For Demacia.
We play
I want to get the blocker down. Something can block Garen, that's fine. I want to get Crescent Guardian down. And then we'll just make a big open on this guy. Oh, if he wants to draw an epic, I'm pretty okay with that. Let's flood. We're good here. As long as he doesn't have another judgment. Running into another dude with judgment would be not ideal. Could have it. He's gonna have to flip to Garen. How do we play around this so we don't die to judgment? Because we just don't attack with everything. Oh, perfect. And we can petty officer kill him if that's his course of action here. So I want to get these in, and then I think we just do
Remember
this.
my words.
Right? If he has to spend all of his mana to judgment away our board, I think we just don't want Miss Fortune getting in. Then we can look to petty officer Mystic Shot face after our 1 damage goes through. You're doing something. Not a judgment, that's for sure.
Fear is the first of many foes.
Okay. Good game, friend. Alrighty. Good deal. Let's pick up this 3rd Miss Fortune here. We may end up in a spot to where like the Taskmaster cards are just too good. I don't want to say we're just snapping off this Miss Fortune here. Her flip is pretty mediocre. Oh god, and she's got a monkey idol in there. Her flip is just make it rain. Oh god, it's monkey idol. It's still pretty garbage, but it's at least better than Monkey Time or Monkey Trouble, whatever the fuck that thing was called. I'm actually leaning towards just taking this Jinx here. Getting to pick up a piece of top end here in the Experimenter. Chempunk Pickpocket I'm not huge on. This is a constructed card. We're getting the ways in Expedition to where giving him elusive is more of a possibility, but as it stands, he's not super good. But like the thing here is like I don't really want 2 double ups as much as I do want the 1 Miss Fortune. We do have a pretty easy time emptying out our hand for this Jinx, and the Experimenter is just a fantastic piece of top end. I think we're okay to snatch up this Jinx here. Solidify our top end. It's just kind of awkward in that it's like a portion of our the things that we're looking to do here is upgrade the 1-drops, and Miss Fortune's our way to upgrade the 1-drops into getting good combats, and that doesn't happen with the Jinx. But I think if we look to just pick up, if we can just find like 1 more Taskmaster, I can stop bitching about not having enough engine cards. Okay. Gotta get my light on. Can't be playing in the dark. Okay. Yo, Solar wins. Interesting. They got the Noxus in here. When that last time we forced Yasuo, I was interested in getting Noxus included, since that's where all the good stuns live, but it just didn't quite come together. Here, I worry about how like Leona heavy this is, because we do run into real issues when their deck is like the 1 and 2 drops that just like shut down combat. I think we're probably cool to get rid of Mystic Shot. and then just look for our enablers. Right, this was a good one to pick up. Like if he plays 3-3, then we're fine to just trade into it. Yep. I really suspect these like these things to get nerfed. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't really play Constructed, and so I don't know how good things are in Constructed. But I have to suspect that like these are just way too good in Expedition. Like you can't be playing aggro decks against these things. Here, this is kind of unfortunate. We're trying to build up to playing this Augmented Experimenter, and we're kind of stuttering on our mana. But I mean, Miss Fortune always showing up on time. It's right. Well,
Looking for trouble?
the plan was to just open attack and then play a Taskmaster, but Miss Fortune just does so much more here. It's just awkward in that we probably won't be able to get a boosted Taskmaster down anytime soon. Sure.
Let's test my theorem.
We just have to get the damage in here. Depending on what he plays, if he just plays some kind of like one of the weaker like invoke kind of cards, then we'll be good to just hook this thing down and kill it next turn. Oh, we found our play again. Our Mystic Shot face. Just play. Just play dude. This is awkward. We have to deal with this this Leona.
Sunlight blinds.
Well, I think this is okay. I don't think I've done this so many times ever, where it's just opponents at 17, Mystic Shot face. Like we've done that so many times this run.
Unwavering strength.
Makes me feel good. All right, let's go ahead and get this guy out of here.
You poor thing.
Is that right? Hang on. Let's do this. Yeah, get this damage on Leona. He can, you know, get us next turn with a
The strong don't want mercy.
like a Zenith Blade onto Leona herself. But I think this is okay. That fixes our problem in the mentor.
Firepower is always in style.
Yep.
A beam of light to pierce the heavens.
That'll stun our Miss Fortune, who was never going to attack anyways. He shouldn't be able to Daybreak anymore, so he can't get Daybreaks onto our Taskmaster. And we should be able to get a 5-attack hook into Leona. Oh, we just had the second one. Okay, we're still doing the same thing.
Go, floaty crystals!
Send them to the drink.
This at least leaves us in a spot to where we can pop her with Augmented Experimenter next turn.
Love ya.
Okay.
A
There's
sacred
Big Boy.
guardian fueled by holy light.
Sure. Well, what we can do about that?
The answer is here somewhere. Immerse yourself in the unknown.
Last light.
All right, might be able to lethal with that.
Punish transgressions.
Huh. Okay. It's like, how big can we go with Mentor the Stones? Putting 3. We'd rather just be mentoring up this cutthroat. Can't stop this damage. I don't see a reason to block this just yet. Might get overwhelmed killed by this thing, but there's a good chance he just has to put this into combat next turn. Oh boy, oh boy. This is kind of scary against the disruption deck, right? We can just add, like, let's say we spread this out. Make this a 5, 6, and 6. I think we're just doing it.
Celestial power.
So this is lethal without blocks. Oh, interesting. Why would he block down here? He has to just have like a stun, right? Let's spread this damage out. We can play another card at this point. That's lethal. We can take this thing down with our other Pale Cascades, but assume something is going to get stunned or something's getting recalled. Okay. Alright, we can beat that. Right? 6, 7, 8. Or, yeah, we need to get 4. Did you get excited? Cool. Cool. Alright, good game, friend. LOL. Cute stuff like that makes my day. We just had all the Pale Cascades to outrace that hush.
That's why I'm the captain.
Shit. All right, right, interesting. The sheriff is pretty powerful. When we're doing these big like go wide strategies, it's just incredibly good. But out of all of these cards, I do think the Razor Scale Hunter is better than the sheriff. But I mean, she's weak whenever we tend to be in like a curve deck, and we're certainly not in a curve deck here. Right? It falls flat if like we have, 2 units and our opponent can we're just like forcing trades where we can make real use of her in a deck like this. Interesting. I don't think I want to get rid of the Apprentice for Jailbreak. I'm happy with our 10 1-drops. If we pick up like 1 or 2 more, that's fine. I don't really want to go lower though. Make it rain. It's our only one. It's so low on the pickpocket. I think I'm cool to pick up the sheriff. I wish we had, another way to discard it should we need to, but we only have the 1 jinx, so it's not a super huge argument here. I think this kind of really solidifies that top end we were looking for. Right, so yeah, I think we got all the tools that we need for this to be successful. This can certainly be a pretty like high rolly deck as far as these games themselves go. So we may not be able to push this to 7, but certainly not out of the realm of possibility. Pretty happy with how this came together, minus the lack of Taskmasters. Okay, Jinx Teemo. I haven't seen an opposing Teemo in a long time. Here, interesting. I think. It's like, can we ever keep Jinx? It's awkward. Like typically, I would just say no, but it's our only copy, and this can like really just get punished if we draw like a double up or something. Let's go ahead and get rid of her. But I do want to hang on to the Make It Rain in case he starts with Teemo. I wanted to play Jailbreak so we have more opportunities to get a little more value out of this Pool Shark. Not as good as a hit as it used to be. This used to play discard a card and then last breath to draw a card, and so having the last breath out of this was pretty nice.
A Vandal Scout never.
Okay.
Officer J.S. Hawklaw, Unit 6.
I'm pretty sure this is just an open. We'll have to see what we draw. Okay, maybe not. The thing that gets awkward here is like we don't want the pool shark because we're 100% just playing Von Yip next turn. But as we continue to have these units that interact favorably with what he's doing, I want to go ahead and get them down. That's awkward. This at least isn't a scary unit. We'll just let this go. We'll bank up the spell mana. And then just plan on being on this Von Yip plan for now.
Ye started without me.
May need to Mystic Shot this thing.
No stone unturned.
Gonna be tough. If he has the suit up, it's okay. Like it sucks to be down a card, but against like this puff cap deck, I really don't like to be falling down to like sub 10.
Quite right,
You
quite
can't,
right.
can't get us here.
But only
Jump on
must
perfect.
secure me tail. Start the day.
This all costs 6, right?
Where
Like
do
Bull
you
Shark,
stand
the Petty
on
Officer,
cold
and have a
shots?
Pale Cascade on the back end.
Store the rations! Shackle the prisoners!
Time for new leadership.
Okay,
Give us some room.
Captain's orders. Bullet to the.
whatever it takes to get these guys off the
Excuse
board, we're
you.
pretty happy with.
What's that you got
We
there?
should be able to save one unit with Pale Cascade. Like if we have to assume that our Von Yip was safe when he made it last turn and he didn't immediately try to interact with him, he's probably safe from this point forward. And so out of these units, I believe we'd prefer to be protecting our Crackshock Corsair.
Can't win.
Okay, cool. What up, Bull Shark? This is where it gets awkward with Mystifying Magician. I just don't really want to be boosting a lot of these units.
A game. Go on
Okay.
then.
We're getting the values here while we can.
A foray into the field? How exciting!
We did just save this thing,
I'll
but it's
shoot
like,
the
do we ever
wings
just
off
want
of
a
the
Mystifying Magician this? Or would we rather just play Crescent Guardian? Because like we're just going to attack and he's just going to trade with us next turn. Doesn't have to be that way. We can technically play the Sheriff. It's really close. Let's see what we draw next turn. We might want to
You won't feel
add
it
more to the
first.
board,
I've got us covered.
or we might just want to do this. It seems like a spot where we're just going to open attack like 95% of the time, but maybe not. It's tough for Bilgewater Piltover to just like, you know, like the thing that scares us is if our opponent plays like heavy infantry here, like a 5/5 tough that just shuts down so many of our attacks. But units like that don't quite exist unless he just has like rando sea monster in his deck. Yeah, I think our board's too much better than his to not just go ahead and open. That's tough. I'm doing it. I'm swapping it out. Oh shit, what a hit. What a hit, boys. Nice. Sure. That actually hit face. I wonder if he's wanting to hit face with that. Like, why else would he be playing it here?
Trick shot.
Beg your pardon?
No, no, no!
Okay.
Scratched.
No!
Here's the beam. Sure. You put in your work.
All unbelievers will see the light.
Because it's tough for him to have to choose between Von Yip and the Collector. I'm sure the Collector feels like it was probably the right choice there.
Open wide, sugar.
Okay, that should end. You can just get excited away the sheriff here.
Just you and me, Fishbones. And them. The strong don't want mercy.
Sure. Okay. Feel like you just spew in here. Let's get this blocker off board. Should be getting in more damage this way.
Give you to the count of time's up.
This just gives us a monster open on him next turn, where even with his one block and not doing math here,
Everyone goes boom!
if this isn't enough to be successful, the Super Mega Death Rocket should be. Yep, Pale Cascade's good. Good little pickup.
Don't touch that.
Let's do
Devotion to
the classic
Oh,
little to
part of the
big
plan?
attack.
Just meet up.
Hold it, sweetheart.
Approve of that shit. You're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One short. Okay. Here's probably gonna put this down here.
Prepared for anything.
Let's give the officer a turn. Don't want to take up both spots on our board when we might be trying to open on him.
That's gotta sting.
It's just getting discarded now. We should be pretty safe from taking an 8 hit off of this Teemo, but we're actually there's no reason to not play this right now. So let's do this. We can play you, summon the follower.
Shackle the prisoners.
I deal in coins.
Go ahead and just start killing his stuff. This can't go face.
What's the worst that could happen?
Can't pull that back. Looking at my deck again, I think we probably should have killed the 2/3. Oh shit! I forgot. Oh god! I forgot. Drawing 3 cards could be dangerous. Oh god. We didn't get punished, did we? Oh god, are we gonna... Okay. Oh shit, I forget about that. It's been a long time since we played against Teemo. I'm out of this mindset to where you have to like watch yourself drawing your own cards. Okay. It didn't die. So let's see. Never getting rid of Mentor. Oh, a Riptide Rex for the Magician. That's powerful enough to do. Alright, well, doing that. I wouldn't pick up Grandfather Rummel. I don't think that's something that we ever really need to do, but this Riptide Rex is just so incredibly powerful. I would love to actually just get rid of the Sheriff now that we have the Riptide, but I don't think we can let it go. I mean, it's one of these things, maybe we could. I'm trying to think offhand how many of these games actually got to 8 mana. It doesn't happen too frequently with these, but it at least does give us that like ultimate piece of reach to get in a final big open attack and then try to close it out with the cannon barrage. Okay, yeah, I gotta remember to click this ad thing off. Get my stretching in. This is a no gym day. Get all stiff on the no gym day. Let's see. Oh, the Noxus. Like super mega keg here. So okay, interesting. Like I want like more to do, but this seems just like a reasonable start. How often do we get like good value out of this mentor though? I don't think that works how we want. I think we're okay to keep Von Yip. We can kind of plan on not running a bunch of shit out. It's just the thing that gets awkward with this set is like we're on the even attacks, so we can't take advantage of our big units until 6. Maybe we should have just gotten rid of the Von Yip. Here, I don't care about Fizz. We're never doing anything with Fizz. I just want to go ahead and get the trade.
Everything's in place.
You'll be sorry.
Damn it.
Okay, I think there's like also a world where we just bank this 2 spell mana. Yeah, that's fine. We're not in a big hurry. We're gonna try to get this with Professor Von Yip value.
Night flowers upon my blade.
I don't want to get like too invested in this board because I don't want to get blown out by Make It Rain. But like if he attacks, I'm cool with trading. If he passes, I'm cool with passing. And then I want to just hook this keg, and then
No more hiding.
start trying to move forward with Von Yip. It's kind of scary here. I mean, there are a handful of Noxus cards that just blow up our Yip, so we might need to be particularly careful with this Pale Cascade. But it feels like he was trying to make a Make It Rain play on us.
The objectives.
Sure.
For the glory of Noxus.
Perhaps we should pause for thought.
This is also an awkward Von Yip in that we've only drawn one. Like the 1-drop we started with is, well, I guess we technically did draw Dustbringer, but you typically, when 25% of your deck is 1-drops, you expect to have a few more than what we've picked up here.
Clear it out.
You leave me no recourse.
Should have just gone ahead and doubled up this thing. We've just got like the 2 1s here. I bet we should have doubled up there. Like I always think of it as being like our
I'm the last thing you'll
our
see.
game ender. Maybe if we play it, then we wouldn't be able to play Pale Cascade. It still feels like he's trying to get his Make It Rain, but at least our units are big enough to survive it now. Not a 1. It's
Open
extremely
wide,
awkward.
sugar.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, I still don't think we're in a big hurry here. Okay. Blade's Edge. How much of this stuff do we have to care about? Probably need to pop this powder keg. I just don't want to be taking a damage this turn. It's just like he's really close to flipping this Gangplank, which is a real problem for us. So let's go ahead and pop this. close to getting him with the face damage. Sure.
Happy to do whatever's needed.
It's weird that was his open. Never do this? Like how... So how does this work? Let's say like nothing goes wrong. How does this pan out? Like we play Taskmaster, he blocks our 2 bigs. Between this and Taskmaster, he takes 4 and then 5 from hand. That's not enough. Okay. Might have to blow our bot on this gangplank now. How does this go though? We can hit him if we hit him with this 4, then we can kill him.
Your path ends here.
Okay. So let's make sure this combat happens, and then we'll go face.
For the Empire.
Alright, good game, friend. Pretty sure there's no way to gain health, not in these factions. Doing the finger counting, doing the mathematics. Looks like a lethal. Oh god, he's playing cards. Make it rain, sure.
Your king has returned.
Make the Empire proud.
Spaced out. It was like I knew there was going to be like all these animations and things, and I was just kind of like, well, this will end eventually. Let's get ready for this final battle. Never trading out Von Yip or get excited. The fuck are all these Nightfall cards showing up for? I'm moderately interested in Nightfall cards, but just not at the cost of this. And I don't want Jagged Butcher over Jailbreak. It's just we have some combos for actually playing spells, even if like the smallest combo is just playing Von Yip on 4 and following up with Jailbreak. I'd very much prefer these to Jagged Butcher. Okay, don't want Gangplank. Don't want Bastion either. Picking up Gotcha is moderately interesting. I don't feel like it's something we super need. We have the 4 Mystic Shots and the 1 Get Excited. This is sort of like pseudo removal as well. I'm mainly interested in keeping Hired Gun because it's just cheaper all the time. There's so many turns where we just need to like run out like card volume and not card quality, and getting stuck with these 4s can really hamper our ability to play card volume. Whereas the Hired Gun is just always 2 mana. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip this one. Okay, I can't take another Riptide Rex, especially at the cost of a 1-drop. That's just 1 is all that we can really handle here. Don't want to trade out our Experimenter. The Make It Rain for Double Trouble is kind of interesting, but again, this is one of these things where I think if we had like 2 Von Yips or something, then I would value these Double Troubles a little bit higher. It's just for the cost of a Make It Rain. Probably need to keep it. It's just another plunder activator. Kind of needed those. We had that like one specific turn in a game where I called out where like Chempunk Shredder would be really good here, and like this is kind of the same spots where Make It Rain is good. We have some access to powder kegs. I think we have enough combos to make It Rain viable. Okay, never trading out Mentor. Want to keep our 1 double up. This is tough, but I'm not dropping below 10 1-drops, and so Sunburst is a pretty high quality card, but it's just not something our deck wants or needs. We can, I should say, it's something our deck wants but doesn't need. We can just kind of power through our opponent's good units. We'll see if we run into Radiant Guardian in this last game, but this double up is kind of interesting. But for the Crescent Guardian, this is a unit that plays extremely well in our deck. I think this is just some interaction. Like when we think about how like what we need to happen on these like game-ending turns, it's typically like dealing damage outside of combat. You know, we get to like turn 7 or turn 8, and our opponent's board is just better than ours, and we're just trying to push through that last, 2 or 3 points of damage, and that's where double up comes in. And so I think I want to hang on to this one effect here. All right, the last one. The Taskmaster comes at the cost to get excited. Okay, well, I'm not getting excited about that trade, but I'm going to do it. There's also an argument of just taking the Spacey Sketcher for Jailbreak. Just the interaction you get out of the Sketcher is just huge. Either picking up the 4/1 Overwhelm as your 1-drop, the 0-cost Challenger guy, or being able to lock down 2 of your opponent's units for a big game finisher. But I think I just want to pick up the Taskmaster. Where are we at here? We're at the 10 1-drops. Is that just like specifically it? It is. We don't have any double troubles. We traded out that the 2-cost make 1/1s. Really close. This removal is just so important to have. I'm gonna let him stay. I think we've done okay getting to this point without multiple Taskmasters. I think I'm just going to upgrade with the Sketcher. It's really close, though. All right. Final battle. I guess this turned out okay. It hit all the highlights that I want. I don't know what's taken me so long to really just kind of consider Miss Fortune to be kind of like another Jagged Taskmaster. They do essentially the same thing. Not exactly the same, but pretty close. I guess the Taskmaster is a little more aggressive. There's not very many combats that I just want to throw Miss Fortune into. We've done it a few times this run, but it's also because we've had that +2/+2 support unit. So there are some differences. I mean, it's like you've guaranteed to get the value out of your Taskmaster once it comes into play plundered, whereas Miss Fortune's just kind of providing continual value. But I think this is a pretty reasonable keep. Can't keep the Rex. Want to hang on to Miss Fortune. There's an argument to get rid of the Mystic Shot, but
a game. Go on then.
I think it'll be fine.
Trick shot.
Kind of awkward, but
You made it, Rib! I want to go home.
Okay. I'll just take the hit from this as it stands.
Come on, Rib!
I don't think like this is the unit we want to hit. I think we want to be hitting whatever this plans on supporting. I don't know if it'll ever pan out like that. It's not like he's playing Zed, but
Looking for trouble?
I think we could probably find a slightly better shot, a better spot to drop this than on his random 2-attack
Take a
1-drop.
stance and hold it.
Give us some room.
Yeah, like this. And we just want to Mystic Shot this, then we can attack with Miss Fortune. I like it. Good.
My friends.
I don't think there's any combat tricks that will allow this this young witch to both survive the love tap, never realized it was called that, and also take down our Miss Fortune. Here, I'm pretty happy to sketch her away this Pale Cascade, and hopefully find the 0-cost. I want to keep double up because I think we'll close out the game with it. Slightly awkward. Crescent Strike is probably what we want. Well, maybe not. We don't have to open on our opponents. This is okay. Like we can play the Charger, bank 2 spell mana, and then have the Mystic Shot mana for next turn. Seems okay to me. Maybe we'll be getting this 5 health Miss Fortune attack in again.
Looking into the future, I see purple.
This seems like a pretty good spot for us. Yep, let's get in there. Let's do the old 5 attack Miss Fortune play.
Watch this.
These blocks for him are abysmal. And so this seems pretty legit. I got to play the Lee Sin though. It's been a long time since we've even seen a Lee Sin. Oh, this is ambitious. This seems like a very ambitious place to be making value blocks. And real close to just killing him if that's all he's going to do. I have to assume the Grifter is going to be coming down.
Do
Yeah.
you like magic?
This block doesn't do anything. You should be putting this in front of Miss Fortune.
Take it up with my friends.
Okay, I think we're fine with this. We can try to just kill him with double up next turn. And I mean that may even be a little greedy when we have the Sheriff. We can force these big these attacks, you know, when we get to dictate what blocks where with the Sheriff. Here, I want to play a gem somewhere. I think I want to play it on one of these weaker units. I want to hit this one just because it's kind of easy for him to have, but it's kind of easy for him to have ways to deal 1 damage to our units, be it a Mystic Shot, or not a Mystic Shot, a Make It Rain, or a Parlay, or whatever out of Noxus, the various like 1 cost, or the like Blade Storm and Blade's Edge. Alright, good game. Alright, nice little run.
Line them up, watch them fall.
Nice little run. Easy little 7 winner from the Fishbones.
Fortune smiles.
Cool. Yeah, let me get this deck list pulled up. Okay, thought my LOR Guardian got messed up. Whoops. Well, whoops. Alright, there we go. Give it one of these. And cool. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty similar to our previous Fishbones run, with a few slight differences. And so, as I always like to call out with these Fishbones decks, it's kind of the on the grand scale of things, which I like to talk about a lot, because you get into so many corner cases you can do with a lot of these things. But kind of, you know, if you're just getting your feet wet with these Fishbones decks and don't really, you know, kind of know what to go for and do and what to focus on, the big things we're focusing on here are Jagged Taskmaster and Professor Von Yip. And so if we're kind of putting together a tier list of things that we want, Von Yip and Jagged Taskmaster are at the top of the tier list. We're going to do pretty much whatever we can to add more of these to our deck. You know, I thought this was kind of interesting that I've really never considered Miss Fortune to be kind of Jagged Taskmaster number 3, but you know, once we kind of started looking at it like that, I have you know, some additional things I want to try out with Miss Fortune, even within this this Diana pool that she kind of fits in. Like, all these cards within Diana are so extremely good and so extremely cheap that I think they're pretty interesting paired, you know, when we consider, like, you know, Miss Fortune is just kind of another Jagged Taskmaster. I don't know if you want to call her a better Jagged Taskmaster or Jagged Taskmaster a better Miss Fortune, because I think Miss Fortune's much better. But it was an interesting run here. How I was, you know, we pulled this off with just the 1 Von Yip and the 1 Taskmaster. And so yeah, as far as the tier list approach goes, the Taskmaster, Von Yip are tier 1. After that, the next thing that you're gonna be looking for is you got to pick up 10 1-drops. You can get through, when your deck is smaller, like the round 1 when your deck is just 30 cards, and then at round 2 and 3 your deck is just 33 cards. Sure, you can get away with just like 8 or 9, 1-drops, but once you're into the thick of the run, you're gonna want a minimum of 10. I would have been a little bit happier with like 12 or so, but we didn't really get punished for it in this run. The third thing I really like to call out is to really just watch your curve. As we did end the run, we had 4 cards that cost more than 4, which is fine. We did specifically go out of our way to pick up this Jinx. We only have the 1 Von Yip, and we didn't pick up too much top end. I would have been happy without the Sheriff had I known that we were going to pick up a Riptide Rex. But, as far as your top end is concerned, if your top end is Experimenter, double up Riptide Rex, that you're pretty happy with that. Are there going to be times when you have to just slot in another kind of elusive big dude because you didn't find any top end? Sure. But in general, Experimenter, Riptide Rex, double up is pretty close to perfect. And then it's like, well, if we had a True Shot Barrage, would we play it? Yup. like it's easy, that's fine. But then, yeah, beyond that, just make sure that you find some removal spells. We had the 4 Mystic Shots, the 1 Get Excited, the Make It Rain kind of flexes as removal, and a Plunder Enabler. But you'll typically play every Mystic Shot that you can get a hold of, every Get Excited that you can get a hold of. Would love to have 1 Thermogenic Beam. We didn't see one this run, and that's okay. And so that's, from the deck building perspective, that's kind of the tiers of how I look at things are: find your 2 build-around cards, find your 1-drops, and then after that you're really just looking for removal and a very, very limited bit of top end. If you add in these 3 cards are I think are pretty perfect here, but if you add in a Thermogenic Beam or a Scrap Shot or a True Shot Barrage, congratulations, they'll be okay. And then the last thing I wanted to call out, as opposed to our previous run, is we did manage to pick up the 3rd color in this faction, or the 3rd faction in this run. I think that was extremely important. We didn't get a whole lot of things. We just had the Duskbringer and the Sketcher there towards the end. But getting access to these is huge, huge, huge. The Pale Cascades did play well. The Mentor, of course, played fantastically. But adding in Targon is great. Getting access to those, the Gift Giver and the Sketcher, adding in Noxus is fine. Just I think given the opportunity, you want to add in a 3rd color whenever you can with the Fishbones deck, because I'm pretty sure the way it works is we saw in one pack where there was a Targon added into Fishbones. I'm pretty sure that the 1-drops from your 3rd faction get added into the Fishbones pool, and so it'll give you a greater chance of finding 1-drops throughout the rest of the run. But yeah, nonetheless, pretty successful here. I think that's going to do it for this one. There may or may not be some rewards on the thing. I think we're traveling down the Freylord half of the road. You don't just pick up Trundle. The epic card's not that exciting. It looks like there's a champion capsule. I assume this is just Trundle, right? Since we're in Freylord. Yeah. Not a bad set. Looks like we're set for the Trundle build around with our 3 Icequakes we just got. But there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed our Fishbones run. Learned a little something along the way. Had a good time watching. This is Free to Play Bust, and we thank you for being here.